Cancer, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Cancer. I hope that things are moving well for you in your world. We are currently in Aries season, which is nice. A little change of pace from all the emotions, all the intensity that's kind of been triggered lately. The nice thing about being a water sign, though, is you know how to navigate those waters of emotion. And Aries season really gives us the opportunity to kind of look at those triggerings, look at those things that aren't really connecting with us anymore, and make choices, make different decisions, different plans of action accordingly, changing up how we're doing things, etc. So we can actually empower ourselves. So we can actually invest in our ideals, what we hope, what we want, what we dream our life to be. It is a little jarring on some level. Both Mercury and Venus are in retrograde right now, so relationships are really being highlighted, especially people, situations that we love, or there's long-term connections, or there's just some painful endings around, or painful transitions. Take it how it resonates for you. But again, it's empowering us. That's kind of the silver lining in all of this. And a lot of what we're dealing with right now, a lot of what we're combating is stuff that we know. It's not necessarily new. It's not necessarily coming out of left field, etc. So we can have like a better grasp on how to navigate. That's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out some of the blocks, limitations that we might be experiencing. It's also a really good time to set your own intention for the reading, especially if you've come into this with something on your heart, something on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's an awesome way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them if you want me to look at what's specifically going on for you, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing of your mind, body, soul, realignment with self. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're operating from that space of alignment, we're more apt to choose things that bring us happiness, that bring us fulfillment, that actually make sense and don't necessarily bring all the tension, all the drama, all the toxicity with it. We deserve to be happy, right? We deserve to have a life that feels fulfilling and be around people, situations that support that, etc. So definitely hit me up if you're interested in my services. I would love to help and support in whatever way possible, Cancer. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly, and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, I'm gonna blow. Sorry, I didn't want to blow into the microphone. I don't want to give you that sound. The energy is what I do like too in the astrology, I will say for this week, is we are being supported. There is a lot of support, especially for those places that we are actually honoring ourselves and putting ourselves first. It might not be readily apparent with some of the BS that we're dealing with, right? Sometimes the blessings in disguise come through the hardest stuff, or the things that feel the most triggering, the most provoking. And on some level, you do know that. There has been a lot of tension between Pluto and Black Moon Lilith. So it's hard to have the faith right now. It's hard to kind of believe. Even if, like, it's just hard. We're dealing with a lot of patternings, a lot of thoughts that we have about ourselves, about people, about situations, how they should be, etc. And it does kind of look like in some ways it has been a little bit overwhelming. Spirit's really asking you to look at maybe some of those places where you do numb out a little bit, where the numb out the toxicity specifically, right? It's not easy to identify some of these patterns because they've been going on for long periods of time, or they're just super painful to look at, right? Hence why we do kind of numb out or we look the other way. But when we do have the courage to look, it is an initiation, is what I'm hearing for you. It's initiation into new life, into life that's actually like better than what you're experiencing right now. We often hold on to things because we think it's the best that we're gonna get, or we're afraid of losing that thing, even if it is really toxic, even if it does make us shut down or detach from ourselves. Disconnect is a better way, not even detaching, it's disconnecting from ourselves. Ayurveda has this term called pragya aparad, and it's the mistake of the intellect. When we disconnect, when we are out of alignment with who we are, with what we want, that is when we create mistakes, right? Because we allow these things to infiltrate, to infest, and then we don't necessarily have a clear understanding, a clear picture of what that is. And there's this part of you that feels a little bit unstable right now. I think that I'm seeing like there's a lot up in the air for you, or that's how it feels. You're not really sure where you're gonna land or how things are going to play out 100%. Temperance and Judgment popped out. So doing the best that you can to just not get sucked into the BS, not get sucked into the things that you can't control. Mars is tensely aspected to Chiron right now. So there's this like knee-jerk to reaction to kind of like push forward and not pay attention, to just be, oh, it's fine, it will get worked out, sorted out later, or I don't even need to deal with that. But that is actually to our detriment. Like that can end up kind of biting us in the butt. And that's part of exactly what this energy is showing for you, Cancer. The places, again, where you're kind of letting someone or something manipulate, take advantage. We have the Magician energy. And this, I do really like the Magician because he's the perfect magnificent manifestor. I can't remember what the saying is, but something along those lines. But this guy in this deck just looks like creepy, and it looks like manipulation for all the wrong reasons, right? And I feel like this is something that I'm hearing you're not getting direct answers from a person, from a situation. And again, this has been stuff that's been toxic, that has been a brewing for quite some time, or like I said, you're very aware of this thing on some level. I think on some, you do kind of convince yourself otherwise. You do a lot of talking yourself out of things, but it does look like this week some of the toxicity comes up. I feel like you're asking questions or you're looking for answers. And it's in regard, like, to put a good foot forward, I feel like you're trying to figure out where someone or something stands and what it's gonna look like moving forward. But it looks like it looks like you guys are not on the same page. It looks like there is a disconnect of perception, of like understanding of how things should move forward. This level of commitment and loyalty looks to be a strong theme. And this is something that, I feel like this is part of the reason why you might have turned a blind eye, Cancer. Why you might have kind of just been like, well, it's fine, or I love them, or like whatever hall pass you were giving them for whatever reason, it's resurfacing. And, because, let's see why. Like I said, I feel like this person is not being honest with you. they're not being honest with you, as I said. Sorry, I'm trying to work this out. Let me just see. Give me a second. Hold on. I'll speed this up in the... Okay, so we got 3 of Swords. It's an interesting energy because they're not being honest. And therefore, they're kind of like either skirting around the issue, or you can't get a direct response from them, or like they go back into this bad patterning. I feel like they're having a really hard time, like, I don't know. It's like they're having a hard time letting something go with you. And this might have just been something from the past, or they're holding on to the relationship tooth and nail. Let's look at what this is. But you're committed to moving forward. Like, it looks like even though it doesn't feel good, or even though it doesn't feel right for you, you're still making this choice. You're still making this decision to put yourself first. And you know, I think actually what I'm seeing for you, Cancer, is you're choosing to be the bigger person in this situation. In a situation where someone can't be honest, where they can't just be like, hey, this is what I think, or this is what I feel. It's like they're hiding. They're hiding a lot, and they're hiding behind the way they're trying to manipulate. You might be looking for some answers this week, and they just won't give it to you. And even though this is really disappointing, it's also forcing you to readjust how you're engaging, how you're showing up in the relationship. Like, it looks like you start, like I said, investing more in yourself, or it's enough to be like, you know what, maybe I'm not going to bend over backwards for this person. Maybe I'm not just going to sit here and wait and wait and wait until they get their stuff together. Maybe I'm actually going to make plans of action myself. And even though I think this has kind of taken a long time, because there has been a lot of hope around this, Cancer, Cancer, you've had a lot of hope that this would work out differently. At the same time, there's a reason why it's moved in this way. There's a reason why it's the time, the space, the way things have played out are showing you over and over again where some of that toxicity comes into play. This is all about quiet rest. To remain steadfast, what steps can you take to set aside time for yourself? Reduce feelings of overwhelm and quiet the mind. And I feel like that's a lot of where this quote unquote numbing out is coming into play. Or, you know, maybe not even giving yourself the time, the space to process through things on a quote unquote healthy level, right? To actually just acknowledge where some of this toxicity is coming from and how it's affecting you, your life, this feeling of instability or not having this reassurance that I feel like is really important for this situation. But again, a lot of this stuff has been in preparation, and it does kind of feel like preparation for a level up. It's gonna bring relief, elderberry. Therefore, knowing injuries are a part of life, tending to oneself is essential. What people, places, or things offer you relief when overwhelm seeps into your life. So there is this emphasis on not letting it overtake you, or if you are feeling overwhelmed, finding some rebalancing techniques, right? This is, to me, self-love, self-care, investing in yourself, taking a walk, taking a bath, doing some acupuncture, getting a massage, getting your nails done, whatever that is for you, you know, really just kind of putting that time, that energy, that love into who you are so you can see things a little bit more clearly. Sage, I love this. And then cleanse. This is exactly why I start these readings out with an energy cleansing, right? With the sage, letting go can be freeing. What techniques, tools do you employ to cleanse your space? How do you feel when you clean? Do you feel relief or do you experience anxiety? What causes this dis-ease? So it's that value of really kind of understanding, pinpointing that disconnect, where we do disconnect from ourselves, like we talked about earlier. And you're open to this. I mean, I see it happening naturally for you this week because of who and what you're dealing with, because it's been a rough go for a long time, and because they continue to show up in the same way over and over and over again. They're not necessarily changing their behavior. And because of that, it's making it really easy for you to see through this. Yeah, it sucks sucks. Yeah, it's painful, but at the same time, Cancer, you're smart, you're aware, your intuitive senses are heightened. Definitely listen to yourself and honor yourself. Give yourself the space of some freedom and relief, and really honor and nurture yourself through the process. All right, thank you so much for your time, energy, always, Cancer. Definitely drop comments below if the reading resonated. I love to hear, and I do hope, sorry, I should backtrack. I do hope that you found messages that resonated here. Definitely drop comments below if you did, because I love to hear or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the support, all the love that you bring to the channel. Know that I'm sending it back your way.